Hello and welcome to Ringside Reality. My name is Jonathan Lilly, and I'm here with my co-host Chris White
What do you have, boys? That means hello.
in Newfoundlandese.
Well, yeah, it means like, how are you doing for people out there that have
How
bland
are
accents.
you doing today?
Everybody talks slow. Everybody says that we talk the fastest, apparently, newbies. We
I
got
say
the fastest dialect
Newfoundlanders
in the
and
world.
Jamaicans. That's
Oh,
what
well,
I'd
yeah,
say.
Jamaican. And isn't it funny how Jamaicans are fastest talking and the fastest running? Isn't that a deadly joke?
Not really, no.
What the
All
hell?
right. What is going on in the background?
No,
Hey,
no,
isn't
it's
it
not.
you?
No, this is not my. I don't know what's going on.
That's
not
his
right.
ringtone.
No, no. Cancel. Cut this off.
Maybe.
No. Okay, I tried. Okay.
What is going on?
Let's move on. Let's move on.
No.
Whatever.
Was that your ringtone on your phone? Or?
No, we're just gonna move on. We're not gonna talk about what just happened. Jesus. What an embarrassing way to start the podcast. Okay.
Oh, Carly Rae Jepsen kicks in.
We're just gonna pretend that didn't. You can edit that out, right?
No.
Boy, you said you does all the editing. I'm sure you can edit out. I don't even know what just happened.
I could, but it's way too funny.
Well, we're just gonna forget that ever happened. Well, wrestling. So anyway, we do a show called it's a wrestling podcast, not a pop music podcast.
Make fun
Yeah,
of Chris
forget
podcast.
Okay.
Alright. You gotta be doing it on purpose now.
No, I'm not.
What is it?
Because I had YouTube opened up. Never. Just hold on.
Okay, hold on a second. So you were watching Carly Rae Jepsen before? That's even
No.
worse. You're
No,
watching.
it
Okay, hold on. So that's the video that was up on YouTube before you started the
No.
podcast?
When you go in, no. You know, everybody out there goes like, just. Oh. So anyway, it was.
Monday Night Raw happened.
Well, a lot's happened since the last podcast, but I mean, when we first started doing this, there was a little bit less considerable content. So it's like the last few times we're like, oh, what are we going to talk about? Because, like, say a pay-per-view happened or Raw happened, but now like you'd have to literally do one a day. So you have to forgive us for missing stuff because I don't think we can keep up. Like we just literally can't keep
No.
up.
Well, I was thinking about it today. Like, I don't think I want to talk about Raw. Like, I don't think I want to do a review of each show and that kind of shit. Like, I think maybe what we should start doing is just talking about topics that we want to talk about in the wrestling world. So, like, the only thing I really want to talk about with Raw, like, Raw was a shit show, so I didn't really want to talk about it. But, like, maybe the Owens winning the title thing, that's probably the only noteworthy discussion.
Yeah, like I don't want to sit there and be like, okay, so in the opening segment, Roman Reigns came out and they all sat there. I don't want to do that, like,
No.
because nobody gives a fuck. So we can just take. Well, if you're going to talk about topics, then I guess you can take key points from things that happened during the week. Raw is the most recent thing, so that's fresh on our minds. I want to get to some stuff that happened on SmackDown last week too, just the Daniel Bryan thing and stuff. Kevin
Yeah, I
Owens.
kind of want to talk about that too. So.
Last night on Raw was a shocking ending to a horrible shit show. It was like Triple H won the title last night, or sorry, Kevin Owens won the title last night. Even though I'm pretty sure Triple H won the title because he basically wiped out two guys in like 5 seconds. He could have just pinned them both himself, really. But Kevin Owens is the new champion, which I'm happy about. I'm super marked out last night for Kevin Owens' victory. It was a little bit bittersweet because I didn't like the way it was done with Triple H coming out and just.
Yeah, does that automatically make Owens seem like a weak champ?
Well, it's not the way to put the belt on someone for the first time. I mean, it's 50. Like I said last night, it's bittersweet. Like to me, like Triple H came out and won the match. Like he took out Reigns and Rollins in like 30 seconds. He basically pinned them himself, but it just looks like it's going down the road of the hand-picked champion angle or whatever it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and, like,
well, that's what I said to you last night.
Fucking can't do that anymore.
Well, that's what I said to you last night. It's going to be Owens is going to be Triple H's picked champion, and Rollins is going to be Stephanie and Mick Foley's picked champion, and they're going to feud.
Which is absolutely fucking horrible. Like, come up with a new idea. So Randy Orton, well, how long ago was that? When Randy Orton was the Authority's hand-picked champion, like 2 years ago, maybe?
Yeah.
Remember the whole year, like 2013 or 14, when Randy was the hand-picked champion?
Yeah.
And all it is, really, and then Rollins was last year. But all it really is Triple H's playground. It's like Triple H is actually the champion, but because he can't wrestle a full-time schedule, he puts it on someone and basically lives vicariously through them and dictates what they do and runs the show for him. He's actually the fucking champion when they do this handpicked fucking champion angle. And it looks like they're going to do it again now with Owens, which makes the champion just kind of fade off into the back. It's all about Triple H and Stephanie, and right now it looks like they're going with that angle you're talking about.
It's so weird though.
And it just makes Owens going to step to the
back.
back.
What you said last night is that Owens is a heel, and come off as a heel last night, even with Triple H helping him win. But are we supposed to cheer for Seth Rollins and Stephanie? That's not going to happen. You do know everybody's going to cheer Owens and Triple H. Like, they're going to come out looking like the faces in this when they're supposed to obviously be the heels.
Well, that's if that's where they're going. Like, I don't even know if that's where they're going with that. Like, it could be. But
now, the original plan was for Balor to take on Owens, and then to take on Owens and Jericho in a triple threat. So now I think they might have started a little bit of the seeds of that happening because Jericho reacted to Owens winning by saying that we will be great champions or something, almost like riding his coattails. So I think Jericho and Owens are going to kind of split up from this because Owens is the champ and Jericho's jealous of him or whatever, and they're going to fight over it. And then Rollins is going to be into that as well. So I think they're still going to go with the triple threat, but it's going to be Rollins, Jericho, and Owens instead of Balor, Jericho, and Owens.
Well, they obviously had to rewrite. Like, since Balor got hurt last week, they had to rewrite the whole show for this week. This is all off the cuff what happened last night, I'm assuming, anyway. I mean, this obviously wasn't the plan as of SummerSlam for Owens to win and Triple H to come out and all this stuff. But, I don't know. It's like you have a glorious moment in this, like, ray of sunshine because Owens finally wins, and then you sit and think about it, and there's a dark cloud hovering over it all because Triple H is back, and Stephanie's at ringside, and I don't even know where they're going with this, but I can guarantee you one thing. Wherever they're going with it, it's going to equal Triple H making Owens his little bitch champion like he did with Rollins and he did with fucking Orton. It's going to lead to Stephanie McMahon fucking taking her lady balls and cutting them off everybody like she did with Heyman last night, which was fucking ridiculous. That was the most useless segment ever. And I'm excited, but I'm weary, I guess you could say, of the outcome of this. Because I feel like Owens is going to be put on the back burner as champion just to be aligned with Triple H. And I'm so sick of that storyline, you don't understand how fucking sick of Triple H authority handpicked champion. Like, that thing needs to stop. But it was a good match. I don't know, it was a good match.
I think it was a good match. I mean,
Reigns threw fucking 85 Superman punches. Like, it was ridiculous. Like, the psychology of the match was fucking retarded. Reigns literally threw, I think 6, I counted. 6 Superman punches, and he still didn't win the fucking match.
Well, as green as Cass was, or is, I still thought he held his own. He didn't botch anything, like, majorly. He still... I got a funny feeling he is going to be a star eventually. Like, I think it's a bit too early for him to be a star right now, but I can see that he's going to be.
I think so, too.
I mean, he's a big dude. He's over. He can obviously wrestle. He's not going after fucking putting on shit shows like Titus O'Neil and Darren Young. You know what I mean, though? No, and he can wrestle, I suppose. Like, he is what he is. A couple of the movies he did last night had pretty good impact, and he looked good. He's a big guy. It's not like he's going to be fucking flipping off the ropes and stuff, but I mean, he can deliver a decent looking big boot and a decent looking elbow drop or whatever. But I don't think he's going to set the world on fire. He's not going to be the next fucking Stone Cold or Rock or nothing. But he's still, I think he's going to be a decent talent down the road. But does this kind of, with Balor getting hurt and then having to rewrite the whole like storylines and this whole like the Raw after was shit. Like last week's Raw was shit. This week's Raw is shit. Just because Balor got hurt, does that highlight the fact that this is like the product's absolutely garbage? Like one guy gets hurt and the fucking whole show goes down the shitter. Like,
well, I think with the product itself, like once you get down to the upper mid card and lower, is already shit. I think it really highlights how terribly fucking weak the main event scene is on Raw. Like just how many holes there is in the main event scene. Like one guy gets hurt, and you literally got to shake everything up and bring Triple H back and you know what I mean? Like, you got to bring out all your fucking guns for the next Raw. I think it's kind of sad, actually, but like, whatever happened, the way it happened, like, at the end of the day, Owens champion, right? And I'm super happy about Owens being champion, but the way it went down was, like, you telling me right now they couldn't have come up with a better way to put the belt on Owens than the way he did it. I mean, Owens didn't even win the match, man. Triple H won the match. Owens didn't even hit a finisher on anyone. Like, Triple H came in and pedigreed the shit out of the whole fucking place, and then Owens crawled over and pinned him, but like, Owens didn't even do anything. I texted you last night and I said Owens is going to win. And that's because halfway through the match I realized Owens was spending all the time outside laying down, and Reigns and Rollins were getting all their high spots in to make them look good, because that's what it clicked. I'm like, they're not going to win. They're letting Reigns and Rollins put all their high spots in because Owens is going to win the match. And I texted you, I said Owens is going to win. But I kind of knew then, but the end of the match just left me kind of like happy and sad because, like I said, Owens didn't actually win. Like, Triple H just beat two fucking guys, two main eventers, in 30 seconds. He did with one pedigree what Roman Reigns couldn't do with 8,500 fucking Superman punches. And once again, it goes back to Triple H's booking and him being on top, and that regurgitated fucking ad nauseum storyline that they've done for the last like 5 years.
As much as you hate Triple H being there, do you think it would have been better if, for example, Owens beat Cass, Rollins beat Reigns, then Triple H turned on just Rollins? Would you think that would have been better?
Well, I think it would have been better if Triple H... Well, yeah, I would have been... Listen, run-in happens all the time where you take one guy out. If he came in, if it was down to just one-on-one when Triple H came in, I wouldn't have had a problem with it too much. The fact it was a triple threat and he took two guys in. Two of them. Like, I mean, that's what I was just like, holy fuck, man. Like, this guy is... And let's not forget, Triple H is like a 50-fucking-year-old man. He comes in and wipes out two of your hot, youngest stars that you got. It makes the young stars look weak. Like, you got this old guy coming in, and they always talk about everybody's age, but you never talk about his age, but he's old. Everybody knows he's fucking old. But yeah, like, I agree with you. I would have done it that way. I would have had it one-on-one. He comes in, takes out Rollins, and gives Owens the pin, because that happens all the time. But for him to come out and take out Reigns and Rollins in like 15, 20 seconds, the two of them, two of their top stars, and then Owens pins him, I was just like, holy shit, man. And now you know where this is going, so happy for Owens, but you know what? The only good thing about this is, Johnny, is I don't know what's going to happen next week because I don't know what direction they're going with the storyline. So if anything good came out of this, it's Owens champion, and what are they going to do next week? Because there's a few different directions they can go, and I'm interested, which is something that I wasn't before it happened, in how they're going to go with the future storyline here. Is Steph in on it the whole time? Is she going to come with Triple H and they're going to start the Authority again? Or is Triple H going to feud with Stephanie now? Or is this leading to Rollins versus Triple H at Survivor Series, which is a match? Like, there's a lot of different ways to go.
You're not really looking forward to what's happening. You're just wondering what's going to happen. Really?
Yes, I'm wondering. Yeah. I'm not looking forward to it. Well, anything that involves Triple H at this point in his career, I don't. You know that I have no interest in that guy on television right now. At all. Like, he's a fucking cancer. Because he doesn't do anything original. If Triple H came out and reinvented himself or had a hot storyline, he puts himself in the middle of every single championship storyline the last 5 years. He's only been a champion once the last 5 years, but look back on him. Randy Orton was champion, Triple H was in the middle of it. Seth Rollins was champion, Triple H was in the middle of it. Daniel Bryan was hot and becoming champion, guess who was in the middle of it? Triple H. Kevin Owens is champion. What's the reason he's champion? Triple H. It's fucking regurgitating, man. Like, it's almost makes me want to vomit. Like, go away. Let these guys have the spotlight to themselves. And that's the only thing that's pissing me off, is every single storyline that involves the world title, even if he doesn't have it, he basically has it. Like, even when he's not champion, it's like he is. Like, right now, Triple H is the fucking champion to me. He won the fucking match. It's his title. He was champion when Orton had it. You know what I mean? Like, he has this way of booking himself into everything important, when it should be about these young guys. You have so much talent on that show, of young talent, and you're fucking just wasting it away with this old fart, like, going around fucking doing crotch chops and fucking telling dick jokes and shit, man. Like, your time is up. Go behind the scenes and fucking run the show from back there. I don't want to see, or come up with something new. How about that? If you're going to come back, do something different. Don't do the same hand-picked angle, here's my world champion angle. because it's old. Come up with something fucking new. He's supposed to be a creative genius with NXT and everything. Fucking come up with something, man. Like, it's boring.
Do you think it's just his ego won't let him go away? Just he thinks
100%. It's all.
Yeah, he thinks he's such a big star that he needs to be there to bolster the ratings. Possibly.
It's his ego. Yeah, like you notice.
It's almost like Hogan, or let's say Hogan back in the day. Obviously, Hogan was who was drawing all the stars in. So Vince was like, "Well, we need Hogan on these shows, or Austin, or The Rock, or whatever." Do you think Triple H is saying to himself right now that, well, nobody's a big enough star. I'm basically the biggest name that we have right now, so I have to be on the show in the spotlight because his ego is so big that he thinks he is the biggest star?
I'd say 100%. But the sad part is that doesn't excuse 3 years ago with Randy Orton when there was shit tons of talent on the show and he wasn't the biggest star. He still did it. When Daniel Bryan was making his run, Daniel Bryan was a 10 times bigger star than Triple H at that time. That still didn't excuse him from... It does, like, the circumstances of why he's doing it doesn't seem to matter. He just always puts himself there, and it's 100% ego, like you just said. But the sad part is he's got such a big ego, and he's so freaking insecure about his place in history, because he's not... The fact that he's not up there with the Hogans and the Rocks and the Michaels and the Harts and all these guys, it pisses him off, because he's been doing it for so long. He just can't seem to get there. He's trying and trying, but... I mean, look at Michaels. When he come back in 2002, he spent at least 5 of those 8 years back wrestling in the mid-card. He was one of the biggest, not stars, but he's one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, but he spent time with Jericho. He had feuds with Shelton Benjamin. He didn't have to be in the world title picture. Even The Undertaker has had feuds with Khali. He's had feuds with Kozlov. He's had feuds with undercard guys. Name me one time the last 5 years where Triple H came on the show and was in a mid-card feud to help someone out. Never. It's always in the title picture and the main story. I got no problem with the guy coming back to boost ratings because fucking, it probably wouldn't even boost ratings, but to come back and get some star power. But do you have to be in the middle of the hottest storyline all the time? Can you not step back and do something for someone else? Like Shawn Michaels did, or like The Undertaker's done, or all these guys. But Bret Hart did it for Steve Austin. When Steve Austin was a fucking ringmaster. Steve Austin feuded with fucking Chris Benoit.
Oh, Jesus, like all these when they brought NWO back, remember the WrestleMania where Steve Austin took on Scott Hall before the Rock and Hogan thing? So I mean, he took a backstage to that. I mean, they could have easily went with the Rock versus Steve Austin again, or the Rock versus Hulk Hogan on that card, but he decided to they put him with Scott Hall, and they had him, that kind of match. That was an upper mid card match, definitely.
That match happened 5-6 matches into the show on a 3-4 hour show. Like it wasn't even handy to the main event. But again, but Triple H can't come back and do that. He never could. The last 5-6 years, ever since he started feuding with like Jeff Hardy back in like 2008-9, he's been world title, main storyline authority every time. And again last night, instead of coming out in a fucking any other segment, and it's like, that's Triple H. What's he doing with these young guys? Is he going to start a revolution or some stupid ass story? No. He comes out, takes out 2 of the biggest stars in the fucking company in 12 seconds, and gives the title to Owens. Owens didn't even do anything to win the title. So I had a problem with the end of it, but I'm happy he's champion. I'm sure you're happy he's champion too, because I know you're a big Owens fan.
I've always been a big Owens fan, and there's a few reasons why. Well, I always thought his mic skills were really good. He was just natural. He doesn't come off as like being fake. Everybody else had to learn to become like good on the mic, but as soon as he got there, he's good on the mic. He doesn't look like a star. He looks like a star, yes, but he doesn't look like ripped and chiseled and stuff. You know what I mean? He's just a normal looking dude. He looks like a badass. Like he looks like he beat the shit out of you if you got in a bar fight with him. But he doesn't look like fucking Batista or something like that. So I like his style, his in-ring style. It's not like super flashy, but he has some flashy moves to it. So he does a frog splash, and he does that like a flip off the corner of the ropes and stuff, off the apron and stuff. So he does some flashy moves, but he's not all flashy moves. He does have some ground moves and stuff. So I think he's overall he has the widest array of moves on the roster today, in my opinion. The only one close to him, I would say, is Styles, but Styles leans a little bit more towards the flashy, flippy moves, in my opinion. He does like a 450 splash. Like, you're not going to see Owens doing a goddamn 450 splash, you know what I mean? But
Well, did you notice last night when Owens chopped? He chopped. I don't know if it was Reigns or Rollins, but you haven't seen this in a while, and this is what I love about him. He chopped him, and he backed off and held his arm
I
like
seen
it
that
hurt his
too.
arm.
Yeah.
And I was like, my God, when was the last time I seen that? And then I just kind of, it's refreshing, you know what I mean, to see that, because it wasn't chop, 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 kick, kick, kick. He chopped him, then he looked like he got hurt, and I was like, well, that was nice.
I noticed that too because I honestly,
like, it's nice to see.
I thought to myself, I'm like, did he just actually hit him so hard that he hurt his own hand? Like, I believed it was real. Because I guarantee you,
I know. I thought
if you was stood in front of me and I like all out slapped you in the chest, it's gonna fucking hurt my hand. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree, and it was nice to see. So I agree with everything you say about Owens, and like, I mean, we don't agree most of the time on like you're obviously a Balor fan. I bitch about him, and like I like Randy Orton. You don't like Randy Orton. Well, like, you know what I mean? But we agree on Owens.
And Owens is an indie guy as well, but I don't think he never really.
We don't wrestle.
I would say
style.
He never really wrestled that indie style. He did change his style when he came to WWE because, I mean, his finisher on the indies was the package pile driver, and obviously he can't do a pile driver in WWE, so he automatically changed his style to something different, right? One of the best matches, I don't know if you watched it after, but I told you about it before, was his last match, or one of his last matches in Ring of Honor was against El Generico, which is Sami Zayn, in a ladder match. What a good match, man, and what a deadly match that was. Anybody wants to see what they were like in Ring of Honor, watch that match. It was so fucking good. And
like you say, he's a little bit off the cuff from the typical guy that comes in from the indies these days, right? Like, he doesn't.
Well, he's not wrestling that.
He's not
wrestling that fucking crazy style. So I guess that will be our segue into the next part, the whole Daniel Bryan thing, because that's what Miz's thing was with that. They were talking about like Miz working a cowardly style, and then the Miz said that, well, the style that Daniel Bryan fucking uses is the reason why he's retired early. Right? So you're looking at the same thing. You look at Rollins injuring Balor, and like Bret Hart said, he's saying he's dangerous in the ring. Is it because of the indie style he's working, these moves that nobody in their right mind should take? Like, last week, so many stars, or like past stars, have gone on record saying that they would not recommend anybody take that buckle bomb. Nobody. Lance Storm said it. Tommy Dreamer said it. Bret Hart said it. There's a bunch of them that said it. Like, there's.
Which one's? Oh, that's the one where he throws him in, like the Sting one, and the one that Balor got hurt on. Is that what they call it?
Yeah, because he's doing a power bomb into the corner, right into the buckle. Like, nobody, they're saying nobody should ever take that move, is what they're saying, because. Okay, if
you can't.
That's what they're saying. So if I'm dropping you on the ground, you just let yourself go limp and you land on the ground. If I'm running you face first into the corner, you put your hands up. Well, if I'm throwing you back on into something, your natural thing you're going to do is put your arm back to kind of break your fall. You know what I mean? Because you don't know what's behind you. You don't know if you're hitting that buckle the wrong way. You don't know if you're hitting it on center, or especially in the corner. So if you hit that, you're back on the ropes a little bit too much, then you're jamming your shoulder blade into the fucking corner. So you need to hit that square on every time with your shoulders in perfect position to take it. And it's like they're saying it's just not really that good. Look at it this way. If Balor would have took that move right into the fucking barricade at SummerSlam, well, boy, he would have smacked the back of his head off on the old barricade, wouldn't he? Like, that's brutal.
Yeah, it's bad enough to do it on the turnbuckles, but outside on the barricade is just...
Yeah, so it would just rock the back of his head off on the barricade. No wonder he put his arm back to break the impact a little bit, and ended up fucking popping his shoulder in place. But, that being said, Balor is a fucking badass for popping his own shoulder back into place and finishing the match.
That was fucking nasty,
but,
first of all.
Again, Sami Zayn did that against John Cena, remember? Is that the smart thing to do? It is badass, and you get a lot of respect for finishing the match, like it. But in the long run, in the long run, do you look at the ref and say like, "All right, man, you know what? Fuck, call an audible and say we got to finish this up soon because I just fucking popped my shoulder in place." do you really have to go finish the whole 20-minute match? Like, can't you say, listen, guys, I'm hurt. Let's finish this up in 10 minutes. Like what Owen Hart and Austin did. It's not like Austin fucking continuing on with the match. The buddy was on the ground and was paralyzed. So they called it on the spot and said, all right, well, we got to finish this, man. The buddy's fucking hurt.
Well, you had to give him that little roll-off or whatever, right? And just kind of...
Obviously, it's not what everybody wants to see, but fuck, look what they did at the main event of SummerSlam. Everybody was mad confused. The match lasted 5 minutes or something. Ended in a TKO with him being busted open. Everybody was like, what the fuck just happened? Was that real? What's going on? Now, apparently that's what they were going for. They were going for the realism of everybody questioning, was that real? And this kind of bullshit. But me, it just left me just wondering what the fuck was going on. Not in a good way. I was like, that was dumb. Second biggest...
Well, especially right after fucking Reigns and fucking Rusev ended in a no finish.
I was like, second biggest pay-per-view of the year. And the last two matches are the last match was technically a finish, but in my opinion, both of them are non-finishes. I was like, this is stupid. I don't need to blur the lines of reality and wrestling and wonder if that was a real or whatever. If it's real, it's real. If it's a work, it's a work. Have it after the match. Have him beat Orton clean or whatever they want to do, and then have him beat him down and bust him open. Okay, well then the match is still over, and Brock won an actual goddamn wrestling match. If I wanted to watch a fight, I'd watch UFC, man. There's a reason why I watch wrestling.
Well, that's it, man.
Because I want to watch a fucking wrestling match.
I don't know if they're trying to cross over. Yeah, I don't give a fuck about, and I don't even care about. It goes back to the start of your fucking segment here, a conversation with the Miz and Bryan thing. I watch wrestling, and I'm pretty sure most people watch wrestling to just watch wrestling. I'm not trying to be fooled by everybody, and I don't want to. The end of the SummerSlam, I don't like you said, it left me more confused than anything. I'm like, does Vince want this to be the fucking UFC or something? If I want to watch that, like you just said, man, I'll turn on the UFC. I'm watching this because I want to see fucking a winner. It's fake. So in a fake fight on the biggest show of the year, the second biggest show, you can't give us at least a winner and then to do the thing afterwards, do the angle where Lesnar attacks. But I don't care about all these guys getting hurt and stuff and these fucking ridiculous moves that are being done to people, and they hop right back up and go back to work. I don't care about that. Just sell me on a match, dude. That's all I really care about. And I'm pretty sure that they're starting to go so far away from the actual selling of matches and psychology that people don't know what it is anymore. So now when someone actually does it, people don't get it. They're like, what the hell are they doing? They're using a headlock.
Yeah, this is boring and it's not real.
They're giving me some weird body... Yeah, they're giving me some... Because they blurred the lines between... From 2000-something to now, where it's gone so far one way, in my opinion, the wrong way, then now if you go back and try to bring back an actual bit of fucking psychology or something, people are just going to shit on it because they've never seen it before. So they've really got themselves pinned in a corner, but if you keep going down the route they're going now, people are going to continue to get fucking hurt. It's these moves that they do on a regular basis are cool, but they should only be done at big shows, on big matches. Dude, I don't need to see 10 suicide dives on every single Monday Night Raw. I don't need to. I don't need to see 10 fucking... How many times on a Raw do you see someone jump through or over the ropes onto an opponent? Tell me a number, please. It's got to be...
Every match, almost.
It's got to be every match, someone jumps over the ropes and does a flip. I don't need to see it. I really don't. Save that shit for the pay-per-view and you won't get hurt as much. But when you're doing it every night, and that's your move, that's your fucking arsenal now, so you got to do it on house shows because that's what people want to see. They put themselves in a corner where every night they go out now, these guys have to do all this fucking crazy shit because that's their move selection. Use a goddamn backbreaker, people. Fuck. Backbreaker. If I gave you a backbreaker, Johnny...
Is there any real reason why Roman Reigns needs to do a suicide dive over the top rope? Really, though? He's not a luchador. He's not a fucking luchador. He's not a cruiserweight, man. He doesn't need to do that. So, this is what I take this as an example. Remember a few years ago, Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania, when Undertaker did that crazy fucking dive over the top rope. But it's the same dive that Roman Reigns does. Except Roman Reigns does it every goddamn night. Undertaker saved it for WrestleMania, and it was a big, huge deal. So that's what I understand what you're saying, because if they only broke those moves out every so often, it'd be more it'd be special. It'd feel like a bigger move, right?
But what I'm trying to say is that they wouldn't get hurt, man. Is what I'm getting at. Because if you only bust them out fucking twice a year, 3 times a year, as opposed to 300 times a year, deductive reasoning kicks in and mathematics and says, I ain't gonna fucking. If you do heroin every day for 350 days or 364 days a year, you're gonna die. But if you only do it once a year, you're probably not gonna die. It's just the way it works. You're probably not gonna overdose once. But if you keep doing it every day, you're probably gonna overdose eventually. Ass fucking Heath Ledger. So
look at.
They just do it every single fucking night. Like, why are
look at Mick Foley. Imagine, all right, Mick, you're going to go out and take that fall off the Hell in a Cell every single night. You know what I mean? And but he'd be dead in a week.
Oh, man, he wouldn't have fucking seen his 30th birthday then.
Man. He would never walk. Like, he'd be in a wheelchair after, like 3.
Imagine if they put fucking... Well, imagine if they told fucking Kane and Undertaker they had to go do an old Inferno match.
Yes, like, it's all... I agree, and as much as I like some of the style, I do like some of the style, but the difference was, back in the day, you had a disconnect. So, alright, I can watch the cruiserweights, and they can do their flips, and they can do this and that. It's more choreographed, and the guys aren't as big, so they can kind of flip over more and stuff. I think... with the style that these bigger guys are doing now in WWE, because they're trying to emulate the smaller guys a little bit to keep their matches still exciting. So if you take a 260, 270 pound man and ask him to do a fucking suicide dive over the top rope, that's fucking dangerous, man. Like that, he's gonna end up hurting himself eventually. And even Daniel Bryan has gone on record saying that his suicide dive through the middle rope there, he fucked himself up lots of times with banging his head into the barricade and shit. Tell you one thing that really scares me is fucking Big E doing that spear. Man, he almost kills himself every goddamn time he does that.
Fuck. He's gonna kill himself. Well, he's a 7-footer. Like you just said, you hit the nail on fucking head again. Because you're smart. You're not stupid, you're smart. These guys are fucking 300 pounds trying to do what fucking goddamn Finn Balor does. That's not how it works. It's a different style of wrestling. That's the best part about wrestling. That's honestly the only good part that fucking most casuals will watch for, is because this guy does one thing, this guy does another thing, this guy wrestles different. It's a variety. Now you see like guys like Roman Reigns, and even Taker did it back in the day, trying to do this crazy shit. But you're right, Taker only did it at what... The only time I ever seen Taker do it, he did it once every WrestleMania. That was it. Like, he would just jump over the ropes and do it one time a year. It was WrestleMania. He might bust it at SummerSlam. But I agree. And this all goes back to the Miz and fucking Daniel Bryan thing, doesn't it? So Miz is saying Daniel Bryan basically can't wrestle, and he's let everybody down because of his style. And he's like, well, Miz actually said, when I was an independent guy, we had a formula for success, and we don't think the WWE's soft style is that. And I didn't picture myself being like how you wrestle. And then Miz basically said, fuck you. Look at me, I'm 10 years in and never had an injury, and I can go do this every night while you're in a fucking wheelchair with like 6 concussions. How did that serve you? You know what I mean? So it was...
My opinion of that interview...
You can see it both
My
ways.
opinion of that interview was... It's still kind of debated if it was a worked shoot, is what I heard it was. So, it wasn't total shoot, but I don't think it was scripted the way they put it out there. So I think... Because apparently Talking Smack is not scripted. So Daniel Bryan calling Miz a coward was not scripted. I don't think it was supposed to get as heated as it was, because I don't think Miz expected Daniel Bryan to call him a coward. So, number one, that was uncalled for. No way that Daniel Bryan should have called Miz a coward. There's no chance. So... I agree with Miz, the fact that he goes out and busts his ass all the time, man. He's been on the show, been doing these crappy fucking movies for WWE, trying to bring, like, some actual... You know, he's trying. It's true, every fucking movie he started in was sucked, you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, but he's always on Regis and fucking... Well, no, who the fuck is it now?
I don't know.
the Kathy, whatever. He's always doing these shit. Like he's
his ass. He's doing what he can to get the product out there. And he's, like I said, busting his ass all the time. He's always on the show. As much as you want to call him. I never thought his style was boring. It never really fucking lit the world on fire. But how many wrestlers wrestled over the years that never lit the world on fire, man? Come on.
Fuck, man. He's just Miz is a guy that can talk. He's got charisma, and he's an average wrestler that puts off decent matches. Like, not everybody has to go out there and put off fucking goddamn fucking Taker and Michaels in a Hell in a Cell or something.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? You could just
tons of guys. All right, let's say one for example, British Bulldog, legendary wrestler. Yeah. Boy, he never fucking went there and put on no 5-star match. I mean,
the only name you know the match. He has one match that people remember him for, and we all know what that match is. So we don't have to say it. Yeah, we don't have to say it. We just know what it is. He didn't go, he's a perfect example, isn't he? Of just a guy that went out there, is it live fast and fucking die young mentality like Daniel Bryan and indie guys have? Or is it the slow and steady wins the race mentality and you're still able to walk when you're fucking 50? So that's what it comes down to, really, and these guys have to make a decision. But, Bret Hart made a good point about this. Now, when he first said that about Rollins, a few months ago when he made his first initial comment, everyone fucking lost it and stuff because, Bret Hart's bitter and all that, and he does say some ridiculous shit, by the way. But everyone lost it and said, oh, he's bitter old man, fucking blah, 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 blah. But then it happened twice since then. And now everyone's like, But he did say something along the lines of, friggin' someone in the back. He's like, if I was in the back, he's like, it's the agent's fault for all this stuff that's happening to the talent. Because no one is pulling anyone aside. Like, back in the day, he's like, if I hurt someone, if I hurt anybody, and I came in the back, he's like, I get a fucking tongue banging, man. Like, I get a fucking lacerating just for hurting someone. He's like, these days, it seems like it just goes, kind of under the radar.
It's almost expected.
Almost chalk it up to just another unfortunate injury. Like Sasha Banks and Charlotte, which was a fucking shit show match at SummerSlam, where the two of them nearly got fucking killed. I texted you the whole time saying I'm worried someone's going to die. And Charlotte's apparently in heat for that too. But the whole Bret Hart thing, like I said, he's saying this stuff. And, man, Bret Hart wrestled 25 fucking years and never hurt anyone. If you're going to listen to anybody in wrestling about not hurting people, for God's sakes, don't be a merc. Just, Bret Hart knows shit, that kind of shit when he sees it. He might not know everything. He's out of control with some of the stuff he says. Half the stuff he says is fucking retarded, like I said. But when it comes to hurting people in the ring and being like a fucking mechanic in the ring, if he says he sees a problem with Rollins, and he mentioned it a year ago, he's mentioned this before it even came out on the internet. He's seen it before any of us did. Listen to him about it. The guy fucking never hurt anybody in a quarter decade of wrestling, man. And he wrestled a hard, physical, realistic style and never hurt anyone. So, and Rollins, did you hear that Rollins on the Jericho podcast was pissed off with Bret for what he said or something?
Yeah, because I listened to the podcast and he said he was disappointed or something. He said
because he was his idol and now he's out talking trash about him or something. But then, what happens? It sucks for WWE, man. So they put a lot into Balor, obviously, between the Demon thing and trying to get him over and bringing him in and pushing him to the fucking moon. To have Rollins just go out and toss him against a barricade and break his fucking shoulder, I don't know how there's no repercussion for this. I mean, he broke fucking Cena's nose. He gave Roman Reigns a nasty black eye with a kick at a house show last year. He made
Sting retire.
And he made Sting retire, and now he's put their new fucking indie darling guy, that guy they were going to push, man. He put him out for 6 months, but he's still on the show. Now, do you think that has something to do with him not winning the title last night? I don't know. Do you think that they just said, you need to cool off a little bit, we're going to put you on the back burner a bit? Or,
I think he's going to be still main event, but... and the thing is, it's not just the same move. Yes, the Sting one and the Balor one was the same move, but he kneed Cena in the face and broke his nose, and that was a nasty break, too. I don't know if it's just his style, he's an indie guy too. People seem to forget that though. When they think about indie guys, they think, Sami Zayn and Balor and Daniel Bryan and these guys.
Yeah.
Seth Rollins is fucking indie guy. Seth Rollins is in Ring of Honor forever, man.
Hey, listen, man. Most indie guys, I don't want to. First of all, yes, injuries have gone up since the WWE. Well, probably Triple H is doing because he's got a hard on for indie guys. But Injuries have gone off, yes, but there's a lot of safe fucking workers from the indies that just happen to get hurt. You know what I mean? Like, Owens is an indie guy. Zayn is an indie guy. There's a lot of people that don't get hurt. Is it just maybe... Is Rollins... maybe he's just reckless, dude. Like, I don't know.
I don't know. Like, yes, yeah, I think he might... I don't know if he's just... Yeah, I think he might be a little reckless. But I think it's maybe... He didn't accustom himself as well as the other people to the WWE style, maybe. I'm not sure. But I don't know. Or maybe he's just... Or maybe he just can't take the pressure on him and he just feels like he's out there every night trying to show that he's the man, quote unquote. And he's just going too hard and ends up hurting somebody by accident. And it might... Well, it's obvious by accident. I don't believe...
Well, don't forget...
I don't believe he's like going out and hurting these guys on purpose.
No, but let's not forget that he had that fucking move banned too, curb stomp. So, on top of all the shit that he's done to hurt people, and like, I'm not shitting on Rollins, man. Rollins is one of my favorite wrestlers. Like, he's a good wrestler. Like, considering the crap that they pump out of that fucking machine these days, I'd say Rollins is fucking top drawer. But they banned that curb stomp too because it was too dangerous. So the guy has a history of it. But I don't want to harp on him too long. I just want to move on with you here because I want to bring up something. One thing about the Miz and Bryan thing before we get off that is apparently they're putting out a promo, like a hype video for SmackDown this week on commercials, and the first thing featured is Miz and Bryan, so it looks like they're going to continue this angle.
Yeah, Bryan's supposed to come out and talk about it or something, he said.
Yeah, which I do find hilarious because on the first SmackDown, Bryan said, and I quote, "This show is not going to be about me or Shane McMahon." And 4 weeks in, him and Miz are the main thing on the promo, and it's about him and Miz. But I digress on that. I wanted to bring up something to you, which I thought was hilarious. You hear what Ryback said about AJ Styles?
And how he was supposed to squash that curb?
Yeah. Vince McMahon said he was going to put him over at Mania with a new contract worth $1.5 billion. He's going to bring AJ Styles in and, quote, at Mania, squash that little twerp.
So apparently, the story was that he was supposed to squash AJ Styles at last year's Mania.
At Mania. So Styles, who's like 15-year veteran, who's one of the most beloved and respected wrestlers in the entire fucking world, or probably of all time, apparently was coming into Mania to get squashed by fucking Feed Me More. What are your views on it?
I think it's bullshit. I don't think any of that's true. So you're meaning to tell me? So he was saying it's not about the money. Okay, that's one of the things he said. That's bullshit. What I said about that, it was not about the money. If I looked at you and said, "Listen, man, I'm going to give you $1.5 million to go out and wrestle," you're going to go out and fucking wrestle. Like, I don't understand. So what's he supposed to do now? Go to work on the indie scene for fucking peanuts for his bus fare home? Well, you're not going to turn down $1.5 million. That never happened. And it never happened. Because what was Ryback doing before they let him go? Nothing. Right? Like, you're meaning to tell me they're just going to throw him into some throw him together feud with AJ Styles and have him squash Styles? Give me a break. Come on.
If you're talking about squashing Styles, like, at the biggest show of the fucking year...
After he had a huge fucking debut at the Royal Rumble, like, come on. I don't believe that fella at all, man.
Yeah, what happened to Ryback, man? He's after getting all weird and shit the last year or so.
It's just very strange. I don't know what happened to him.
You know what? From reading like little snippets of articles or hearing like a podcast with him on it or something. I don't know, whatever. But it seems to me like he thinks he was a lot more value to the WWE and a bigger star than he actually was. Like, he seems like he thought he was going to be like fucking goddamn Steve Austin or something. Like, every time you hear him talk, he's like, "Oh, I was going to squash this guy at Mania, and Vince promised me a 2-year title run, and Vince said I would be the biggest star he had." And, like, I don't think... Is he gone, like, fucking completely fucking delusional? Because... Never at one point, I mean, he had a feud with Cena a few years ago that lasted like a month and a half, 2 months, but at no point was he ever pushed to be anything close to the World Heavyweight title, was he? Like, what is he fucking
I think he might have had like one title shot against Cena when they were feuding, when he had He had a bit of a push as the main heel, I think, at one point, and then
Was he main though, like, or was he just like upper?
I think he was in the main event scene, but I don't think he was like what they were really focusing on. But I think he was one of the main heels. But then after that, I'm pretty sure he went with fucking Curtis Axel, and they became Rybaxel.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Roy Baxwell. All right, well, so I guess you could say then, based off your comments and what I've read, is he's just a big old roid freak and fucking dumb as shit. Like,
Well-
he's dumb. Do you get that impression from him when? I don't know about you, but when I hear him talk, he just sounds like an idiot. Like, he sounds.
Well, I
stupid.
think what he's doing, he's trying to stir up a bit of controversy to keep himself relevant, so he can actually fucking feed himself and his family and stuff. Because I mean, the more he talks shit about the WWE, obviously he's getting his name out there, and like news stations like the wrestling dirt sheets are keeping up on him, and he gets a bit of notoriety because he's talking shit about the WWE. So what that equals to guys like him is, TNA starts calling, or fucking Indies start calling. He gets more bookings and shit like that. So I mean, if he would have got left the WWE and never said shit and never said nothing about anything, people just forgot about him. You know what I mean? He's just like anybody else. I mean, he never really did anything. Yeah, he was what? IC title. He had the IC title a couple times and US title a couple times, and that was it.
Oh, he was just he's gonna be remembered as like someone that was like a mid-carder that held the IC belt a couple of times, like a Savio Vega or something was back in the 90s. Like, he was in a few with like a few good guys. He held the belt a couple of times, but you know what I mean? Nobody's ever gonna say he was a fucking goddamn icon or anything, are they?
I guarantee
So, I don't know what...
I guarantee in like 5 years, nobody even fucking remember him.
Yeah, no. I only got a couple of things to go over, then you can bring up some fucking random things. But I just wanted to mention, I got my respect for Bo Dallas after he got kicked off the plane with shit face. So, props... I just want to give a round of applause. I don't really have much to say about it because, like, guy was drunk, got kicked off the plane.
I heard witnesses say that apparently... witnesses said that Seth Rollins was also being a real big dick to everybody.
Apparently he's an unpleasant person.
So...
But I just want to give a round of applause to Bo Dallas because that's fucking keeping it tight as piss. That's keeping it real. That he was kicked off the plane.
Drunk.
And the last thing I have, this is only for me, I know you have some stuff to talk about. I just want to mention Mr. Fuji before we go. Like I said to you, I thought fucking Fuji was dead like fucking 20 years ago. So when I had to do it, when I read it, I was like, what's going on here? But I don't want to make fun of it though. Mr. Fuji was a fucking legend. He managed a lot of good teams back in the day. He was instrumental manager back in the day. So props to Mr. Fuji. I didn't know he was 82 years old too. He's mad fucking old, man. Those fucking Chinese, they age good, don't they?
Well, he was like man, he managed a lot of people when I was a kid, so I had a lot of good memories with old Fuji.
Yeah, so shout out to Fuji for being fucking, one of the great managers of, like, our childhood. For people of our demographic, 35 years old or older, Fuji was, he managed everybody. He managed fucking, didn't he go to WCW? Yeah, so he was around forever. But that's all tidbits I got. I don't know if you got anything you want to talk about specifically, like any little tidbits or any...
Yeah, my big thing I want to talk about was Jericho and Lesnar. We didn't talk about that. Because I gotta give mad props to Jericho, and apparently he's getting a lot of respect backstage for being just fucking badass, man. He's like the badass... In all of wrestling, I don't think anybody in all of wrestling, like, he's gonna be up there with like Ming in terms of being like badass backstage, because I'm sure you've heard the stories about Ming. Like everybody's saying like, you didn't fuck around with Ming backstage, he will fuck you up for real. Like, it didn't matter who it was.
Yeah.
I think Jericho is gonna be the next Ming, because you gotta have some balls to stand up to Goldberg and Lesnar in a real fight situation, like.
Well, apparently he was like forehead to forehead.
Yeah, and he was like, what was he? He like pushed him back with his forehead or something, and Lesnar was like, "You're either gonna kiss me or punch me or something," and they had to like get in between him and pull him apart. Like, Jericho was coming after Lesnar. I was like, "Holy fuck, man!" Like, that's a legit. That's a legit like UFC fighter and a big monstrous human being that Jericho, who, yeah, he's probably in pretty good shape, but he's not like huge or nothing.
Well, he's 5-6 years probably.
He's gone.
He might be 7 or 8 years older than Lesnar, and he's, well, fuck, he's what? He's probably 5'9", 5'10",
yeah, and like
maybe?
220. You know what I mean? He's a big dude, but I mean, he's a wrestler, yes, but he was never the biggest guy in the world or nothing. But he got balls, man, to stand up to him, and like I said, back in the day too, he choked out Goldberg for real.
He actually did beat Goldberg, yeah. So everybody needs to know that he didn't just, like, this one here didn't lead to an altercation. Just it was a verbal. But back in the day, he actually took out Goldberg, which is super badass. And you know what the thing is? He ain't trained in anything. He's just a good old Canadian fucking poser, eh? Like, the guy's just an old tough fucking Canadian guy that just goes around and doesn't take shit from anybody. You gotta have mad respect.
Oh yeah, and I mean he's been
behind the scenes stuff.
He's been around the block so long too. I mean he's been around for years and years and years. So I understand where he's coming from. So he's got mad respect for the wrestling industry itself and the art of wrestling. So when he's watching SummerSlam backstage and he sees Lesnar bust open Orton, from what it seemed, I'm guessing from what, because as far as I understand, the wrestlers weren't told what was happening. So they were probably just as confused as us. They were probably backstage being like, all right, so Lesnar's gone into business for himself and fucking the show over. So Jericho runs to the gorilla, looks at Michael PSAs and says, is this a work or a shoot? Michael Hayes won't say shit to him, won't tell him nothing. Jericho says, this is bullshit. And as he says, this is bullshit, Lesnar's walking through the curtain. And Lesnar looks at him and says, mind your own fucking business. And then Jericho fucking loses it and like goes after him. So, I mean, any other person would be like, Lesnar looks at you and says, mind your own fucking business. You know what you're doing? You're walking away in the back with your head held down. I'd say 99% of the locker room would have put their head down and walked away. But fucking Jericho said no, and he got it right in his face, man. Holy shit. And from what I understand, there's no repercussions on Jericho at all. If anything, it's garnered him more respect backstage with Vince, with Triple H, with everybody. Everybody's just like, all right, so Jericho's the real deal. Like, you don't fuck around.
No, you're not going to fuck around with Jericho, and it's good to see that there's no repercussions, because if he would have got a fine or something, I would have been pissed. Like, just because, I mean, we all know that Jericho's the fucking GOAT. Like, he's one of, that's the sad part about Jericho is, or that's the sad part, the great thing about Jericho is all this is Jericho behind the scenes. But it's 2016, and we just talked about earlier how Triple H didn't do anything different. Remember that conversation we had about 40 minutes ago? And he comes back, and he's always the same thing, and he's so fucking boring, and he just controls the show and fucking makes everyone seem like fucking weak and shit. Not Jericho. Guy's like 46. It's 2016. He comes back and reinvents himself every time. Like, we gotta talk, like just think about Jericho's gimmicks in wrestling. Remember when he was the Lionheart in WCW? And then he came to the WWE and was like,
well, even before he came to WWE, he went from Lionheart, Chris Jericho in WCW, but then he became like fucking like Joker.
The man of
the Joker, and he had like, and he had like Ralphus, the Jericho security, and he had like.
He had all that shit going on.
It was funny. He had the top fucking, that little hairdo he used to have. He used to have the ponytail coming out of the top and stuff that he debuted in WWE with. And yeah, he went through, he had the Y2J thing.
Well, he had the Undisputed Champion thing, which was like a gimmick in itself because he was Undisputed Champion, right? Like, that was his thing that he had. And, like, you're already at like 4 gimmicks because you just mentioned... Like, there's a 1,004 Holes guy, there's the fucking Lionheart, there's fucking Ralphus thing, Y2J was a huge thing, and the Undisputed let's not forget, my God, suit wearing Jericho from like 2008.
Well, that was one of the best ones, man.
That was like, oh my God, that might have been the best heel character in WWE in the last like 20 years.
When he feuded with Shawn Michaels and he punched Shawn Michaels' wife in the face, like, that was fucking ridiculous, man.
Remember how he used to walk to the ring with his suit on? He would just like walk like he had no emotion at all. Remember he used to come out and not even say anything, just leave again? But now he's like in like this whole Gifted Jericho storyline. It's fucking phenomenal. Like it's 2016, and I say every old wrestler comes back. Me and Johnny always shit on them, especially if they're full time. Part time they come back to do something, but full time old guys always get shit on by younger wrestling fans. Except for one guy. Even the younger wrestling fans, everyone loves Jericho. Like this whole Gifted Jericho and I got it and you stupid idiot and all this. Like it's fucking amazing. Like the guy, I just want to throw that in with the backstage stuff, which is unreal. He's a badass. The on-screen persona of Jericho the last like 25 years, the man has reinvented himself and he's still doing it today, which is something I can't say for hardly anybody. Like the man's fucking versatility is unmatched almost. I've never seen anyone like him. He's a special.
He makes me laugh every single time.
Well, you see the promo last night where fucking he was like, you know what he's gonna get, and he's like, it? He's like, what? It? He's like, no, he's not gonna get it. You
yeah, he's like, that makes sense. When he's like, I'm gonna give you the gift of Jericho, and he's like, drink it in, man. And he just like puts his arms out every fucking time, man.
And he covered the guy's face. He covered the guy's face with his arm when he put it up. So he couldn't see the fucking old Philip's face or whatever his name is. Nathaniel or whatever.
He has like a scarf on. And he's even got like the goatee. He's got that like just greasy looking mustache and goatee going on now too. Like,
oh man, it's fucking great. Like when he walked to the ring last night with the scarf, I just texted you. I was like, all right, looks fucking ridiculous, man.
And he's even like, he got his hand out like he's a gay guy or something, and he's like flicking his scarf around, just like, and his scowl on his face. He's like, yeah.
Well, as you can tell, we're Jericho marks, so I am anyway. I know Johnny's
Jericho's always been
Jericho. He's like,
I've always liked Jericho, man. No, like from the WCW days right till now. I don't think there was ever a time when I was not a Jericho fan. The only time I can remember being like,
oh, he's amazing.
the Save Us one was probably his lowest point. The Save Us Y2J thing or whatever the hell it was.
Yeah, that's when he came back feuded with JBL. And shit.
That's probably his lowest point for me, just because they were trying to bring him. He's not a good. Yeah, he can be a good babyface, I should say. He's not. But he's a better heel than he is a face. When he comes out as a face, it almost comes off as too forced, and his jokes don't always hit the mark when he comes off as a face. It seems like he's trying too hard. The thing about Jericho, he doesn't need to be there. He's not there because he got bills to pay or he got a fucking 6 wives to be able to pay alimony to and this kind of shit, right? And he's not a drug addict and all this stuff. He doesn't need to be there. If he wanted to quit wrestling tomorrow,
no.
But as much as they joke about his band Fozzy and stuff, if anybody is in the heavy metal scene, Fozzy's a decent sized band. Like Fozzy plays like Ozfest and fucking like they're headlining shows and stuff. Like they're not a.
But they're not even bad.
They're not a joke.
Fucking...
Years ago, yes, they might have been a joke or like whatever, but they're a legitimate band now that have albums and like are on award shows, like metal award shows and stuff. Fozzy's an actual band. Like he could make a living or is making a living as a singer in Fozzy. He doesn't need to wrestle. He doesn't need to be a 46-year-old man going out and getting fucking slammed on the thumbtacks and stuff. Like that doesn't need to happen.
Oh, that was nasty. That's another thing. Mad props for that one too. You know. So while let's continue this Jericho dick sucking fucking contest we got going because how about him getting dropped on the tap? Talk about this in the third podcast alone. That was amazing too. The good Jericho. I have some. Hold on. Wait. Breaking news.
Hold on now. Hold on. Oh, there you go.
Are you ready? We got some breaking news for the old Ringside Reality fans out there. This is big too. I got something big.
Juicy.
Isn't it? Oh, hold on. Oh man, she's mad juicy. She's juicy as fucking okay.
Okay.
Oh, are you ready for it? Okay. I know that there was a brand new world champion last night. I know that Lesnar has been getting fucking suspended by UFC temporarily. I know that Orton is feuding and all this stuff that's going on in the rest of the world. Jericho beating people up backstage is big news. But I have some breaking news. Tonight, on SmackDown Live, the Headbangers are returning.
I was going to mention that too.
Well, that's come on, if that's not breaking news, what is, man? It's 2016. The fucking Headbangers are coming back. Okay, so I'm going to go. What I'm going to do here is I'm just going to sit back for a second. I'm going to let you take over the podium here. Johnny, it's 2016, and on SmackDown Live tonight, fucking headbangers are coming back. So, I'm just gonna... What do you got to say? You can make it short and sweet. This doesn't deserve a lot of time, obviously. So you can make it short and sweet. Like, are you... Well, let me ask you a question, I guess. I'll put the ball in your court. Are you on the excitement level? Are you low, moderate, or very high?
I would say
for the headbangers return.
Low is an understatement.
Ooh,
well,
that's harsh.
Seriously though, who cares?
That's bad.
So, all right, I understand. Yeah, maybe from what I read his Facebook or some bullshit. One of the headbangers was saying how he wanted Chaz, I think it was his name or something. He wanted his son to be able to see him wrestle in the WWE. So, okay, I understand that. But you remember they used to do the retro Raws and stuff like that? Couldn't they just bring him back onto something like that? Like, do they really?
In a tag tournament for, like, SmackDown's most prestigious fucking tag titles, you gotta bring back...
I don't get it, man.
Also, I have a... Well, just so people don't know, because a lot of people might not be old enough, there's a Topher tidbit for this week, too, because I forgot it last week. I have a Topher tidbit for everybody right now. Guess what? People don't know that Chaz from the Headbangers was also Harry Beaver Cleavage.
Yeah, he was.
Just a little tidbit for you. He was... I'm not even joking. The man came back after the Headbangers and was reincarnated as an actual character on Monday Night Raw. Harry Beaver Cleavage, people. So this is
for all the people who don't remember the Attitude Era. Yeah, it was it was it the Leave It to Beaver parody where he was like supposedly supposed to be having like an incestuous relationship with his mother or something.
Oh my god. Well, I think that's a good way to leave you. We're at an hour, and well, we're just talking about incest to end the show, which is our shows always seem to end with some kind of controversial topic. So I think it's been a few social issues the last few weeks, but I think incest could be a good way to end this one, Jeff. Because fucking Harry Beaver Cleavage. That's it for tonight. I guess tomorrow or tonight's story is SmackDown. Which has been the dominant show so far.
I'm excited for SmackDown tonight. I think it's going to be decent.
What's the feud? Well, I'm excited for talking Smack because the last 3 weeks watching that, it's floored me. Like I love how they break down the fourth wall and just
Ambrose and Styles is the big feud on SmackDown now. So.
Oh, that's so Styles is. See, I want Styles to win the title.
He's going to be the champion on that. They're going to run with him now. He's going to be the headliner of SmackDown.
Oh, he should be. I just the only kind of grief I have. I wish he would have won like his first WWE title at like a big show, but it looks like it's going to happen at fucking Backlash. But no complaints, I guess. Like he's miles ahead of Ambrose. Yeah. He needs to be champion. I just wish it would have happened at like Rumble.
They might keep it till Survivor Series or something.
But which is in Toronto, which is my own backyard.
That's a little too long, man. That's like fucking November, ain't it?
It's sold out. I don't.
Yeah, but you're looking at this 2 months of Ambrose being champion and like winning over Styles.
Oh,
Can they put it off that long?
Well, no, they can't because like I didn't even have a problem with fucking Ambrose being champion until Styles was drafted to SmackDown and Ambrose looks inferior. Like you know what I mean? Like it's. Once Styles went to SmackDown, I realized that he's like miles ahead of fucking Ambrose and needs to be champion. And
especially when they put him over Cena.
Guy. Before Styles went to SmackDown, yeah, like when Ambrose was just champion, I was like, whatever, he's champion. But he cannot be on the same show as AJ Styles and be champion. Like AJ Styles needs to be champion on whatever show he's on. He's that fucking good. He, as Triple H would say, he's that damn good. You know what I mean? Like that's just the way it is. Alright, take us out, Johnny. You're doing the outro tonight. I'm leaving a review.
So that's awkward doing the outro.
Okay, that was a horrible start. Oh god.
It's always the intro and outro is so awkward because it's always like, oh hi, we're and it's oh bye,
Why? There's a reason why people spend like 4 years in broadcast journalism courses in college. and where two fellas just come off the street here like us. Fucking, she ain't easy.
Well, we're gonna do another one on Friday, right? Yeah, so.
Yes. It's a Labor Day weekend, baby! Okay. What do you got? Man, won't you keep your dick in your pants? Go and tell people that? I don't want to be...
We're both losers.
Come on, man. Alright, first of all, I have a job, okay? Alright. You can't go around telling people that. Why don't you tell people you're like friggin', I don't know, like a banker or something?
Well, you're bald, so I mean, why can't we tell people you got hair?
I suppose, yeah. Well, we're gonna do it on Friday, but like I said, it's hard to keep up with the fucking content, man. Like, we can't even talk about CWC or anything.
Well, we'll do Friday now. We'll talk a little bit of SmackDown. We'll talk about a little bit of CWC and how that's going, because we haven't talked about that in a few weeks, and I missed last week, so I gotta get caught up on it. So.
Well, of course you missed last week's, man. I got a fucking woman. Like, I can't fucking watch CWC, because if I watch his Monday night, and then I watch his Tuesday night now. If I sit down in a room here and watch his wrestling on Wednesday night, she's gonna come in with her suitcase packed with my clothes, talk to that and say, get the fuck out of my house. Like, this is 3 nights in a row you're watching wrestling, and then, like, you know what I mean? Like, I can't even watch it because I feel like too much of a loser, man. Like, so the basic problem is with CWC, it's Wednesday night, and I've just watched like 5 hours of wrestling already this week. So I feel like I shouldn't even watch it because, boy, should probably give this a bit of attention, shouldn't I? Like, shouldn't be there watching wrestling.
Yeah, so I'm gonna.
And I'm not even talking about those throwback pay-per-views. I watched the whole fucking SummerSlam '93 a few days ago.
We're like closet wrestling fans. We gotta try to hide it away from everybody. No, I'm gonna try to catch up on CWC. I only missed last week, and I'll miss tomorrow. But
boy, what a fucking loser!
So I'll probably catch up on that on Thursday, the daytime. Maybe like my wife will be working, and I'll catch up on it or something while she's at work.
Okay. Holy fucking Virginville. Maybe my wife won't be home. I can catch up wrestling.
That's all right. You just said you're like, oh, I can't watch wrestling 3 nights in a row. The wife's gonna kick me out.
Jesus, not like fucking, oh, my wife's gonna be missing, or my wife's leaving, I'm going out with the boys, head to the bar or something, she's not gonna know about this. It's like, oh, my son, wife's gonna go throw on all fucking Rumble.
Yeah, be like, oh man, I wonder if fucking Ric Flair's gonna win this.
Yeah, watch fucking Steamboat and Flair fucking Clash Champions '89, now this is gone. Like, what?
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gigantic losers. Alright.
Oh, we're talking about losers here. Boy, I gotta go. My mom got me supper ready for. Buddy's 33 years old. His mother's cooking his supper for him.
Well, that's not entirely true. I didn't say that. I did not. Hey. What are you talking about? What
did supper ready for you?
No, what I said was I gotta go because I'm going to cook supper.
No, you said I gotta go because my mom got my supper ready for me.
I didn't say that. You're such a liar.
Oh man, we're losers.
Well, okay, so what are you doing for supper?
Okay,
we're gonna get personal with it.
Yeah, well, because
it
was my profession at one time.
Yeah, well, fucking, not everybody fucking knows how to cook, right?
Alright, but we'll leave it at that. We'll leave it at that. You're our big, huge loser whose mom's cooking supper for her.
What? No, we gotta keep this going for a second. I don't want to fucking...
Why not? That's a good ending.
What? No, guys, everybody out there, I don't live with my mother. She lives with me. Alright, first of all...
Okay, hold on a second. That doesn't make it any better.
Come on!
So, you're in your room listening... You're in your room listening to Carly Rae Jepsen talking about wrestling while your mother's out cooking you supper. Boy, what are you, 12?
I'm 33. What am I, 33? You're a loser, buddy, not me. I'm on the go.
Alright, so I guess that's Ringside Reality for this week. Or not this week, I guess. Till Friday.
See you, everybody. Yeah, we'll be back on Friday. Just a warning, it's Friday night. I usually tend to let you leave a bit on Friday night. So stay tuned, because she could be a bit controversial on Friday night. A little bit of a cliffhanger for you. Danny likes to get rough on Friday night.
We're out. Bye.
See you, people.